Tennessee Titans fans, we are here to watch a Texans fan go off the rails. This was recommended to me by a mutual Titans fan. This is Texans Today by Chat Sports. And the title of the video is What an Embarrassment. Texans fan goes off the rails after horrible loss to Titans. Before I even started, no judgment to whoever this person is, because I've gone off the rails nearly every week on this channel because it's been a tough year. So it's going to be good to see somebody else upset for a change. Jeremy Chugs. There he is.
Texans.
I'm going to guess I need to send out a language warning also, probably. Just guessing.
I don't even have the words, man. Texans lose to the Tennessee Titans in a game that, to be honest, they had no business winning this game. They had chances. They had a field goal that was missed by Kaimi Fairbairn at the very end of the game, a gimme that he hooked left after he absolutely nailed the 50-plus yarder. C.J. Stroud threw multiple picks. He could have had more interceptions, to be honest.
I've been saying that. I told y'all. Stroud was not good. He was not good. Everybody talks about Levis's pick six. I get it. But C.J. Stroud had 2 bad interceptions and could have had more, like this guy
Which
said.
is, look, top 3 in the NFL. Comes out and makes Will Levis and the Titans look like they're a top 3 offense or top 3 offense in the league.
Best offensive performance of the season.
Joe Mixon can't run the ball. His offensive line.
We did shut down Joe Mixon. I didn't even think about that.
I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. This is the most disappointing loss of the Texans season so far. I'm not going to mince words. It is the most disappointing loss of the Texans season so far. Will Levis went 18 of 24, 278 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He outplayed C.J. Stroud today. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 20 of 30.
Kudos to this guy for admitting it, because he did outplay C.J. Stroud, and I'm not coming at it like cocky or arrogant. I mean, I call it like I see it too. I've been hard on Will Levis all year. Trust me, I had nothing good hardly say about Will until the last 3 weeks.
247 yards for Stroud. Tony Pollard absolutely shredded this Texans defense. 24 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley, doesn't matter which AFC South team he's on, he's absolutely been shredding the Texans.
And did he shred the Texans when he was Jacksonville?
It is just another disappointing game. And people wonder, why can't the city of Houston, why can't these fans trust this team? Why can't we get behind them? Why can't we make this a raucous atmosphere at NRG and absolutely pack out the crowd and have a sold-out stadium? And it's games like this. The Texans let us down. The Texans team didn't come out to play. I think every single person who bought tickets to that game today, honestly, if we're talking real, should get refunded, because the product that was on that field.
Man, he sounds like me a lot of weeks. I mean, it's this. Titans are kind of in the same boat. If you want the city to get behind the team, if you want the stadium packed out, I said it about the Titans, when they had those years, 2019 or mostly 2020 and 2021, even into 2022. If you want the city to believe, man, you gotta win, and you gotta keep on winning, and you gotta prove. Of course, it's the NFL. You're gonna lose some games, but if you're the Texans, you can't lose at home to the Titans. Titans were 2-8 coming into this game. You can't lose to the Titans at home if you want the city to get behind you, because you're trying to establish that culture. The Chiefs already have it. The Bills already have it. Even teams that are not, the Browns already have it. They're not even good, but they got that culture that those fans are going to show up, because over time they built up good favor with the fans. Teams like the Titans and the Texans, the Titans have only been in Nashville since 99. Texans have only been in existence since 2002. So you've got to win these fans over before you get them to spend their money.
How this team came out to play, I can count on one hand how many guys came out and were truly ready to play up against the Titans. I think D'Amico Ryans, I think this whole coaching staff, I think this entire team thought, this is going to be a cakewalk. We're playing the Tennessee Titans. of course we're a better team. We're just going to go out there and with our fingers up our ass, act like we're the best team in the NFL, even though we've lost 4 games throughout this season so far, even though we haven't played up to our potential.
They lost to the
we're going to go out there and we're going to act like we're the shit. Newsflash. You're not. You're not. You just got your ass kicked by the Tennessee Titans. By the Tennessee Titans.
Oh,
you got your ass kicked. So I want to know from you folks at home. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Be brutally honest. Get in the comment section. You get hit with the YouTube ad break. Perfect timing. Scroll on down and let me know. How do you feel about this team after this game? Be honest with me. Let me know. How do you feel? Because there's not a lot of good to come out from this game. There's a couple guys that I can highlight and say they played really well in this game. But overall, this was a piss-poor effort by the Houston Texans today.
Speaking from experience, when you lose like this, nobody wants to hear about who played well. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear about who gave effort or whatever. When you lose, it's just nobody wants to talk about that.
Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. It is the most infuriating thing watching this team right now. So much talent. C.J. Stroud, a second-year quarterback who played so well that last year. You have Nico Collins. You have Tank Dell. You have Joe Mixon. And this O-line is playing like the weakest unit in the entire National Football League. I don't think they could push my freaking grandma off the line. Drew Scruggs, Jarrett Patterson, Shaq Mason, Titus Howard, Laramie Tunsil. All of you played like absolute dog shit today. I mean, I don't know what does somebody have to say to you? What do you have to do? How many team meetings do we have to have? How many player-only meetings does this team have to freaking get it up here?
I get it, man. I get it.
Because right now, yeah, you're going to win the AFC South. Oh, we're happy because the Colts and the Jags, they look like bad teams. And the Titans, they already have 8 losses. So whoop-de-doo, we're going to make it to the playoffs. Yay, we're going to make it to the playoffs and get bounced in the first freaking round. There's no way this team's making any noise in the playoffs with how we're playing football right now on both sides of the football. I came into this game saying this Texans defense was one of the top units in the league, and they got worked. They got absolutely worked. And you can't say, oh, well, it's because of the turnovers. Jeremy, it's because Stroud turned the ball over, this, that, and the other. And, this, that. You know what? The Titans had turnovers. They had a pick 6.
Yeah, thank you.
They had multiple fumbles, and this Texans team couldn't find a way to win.
We had more turnovers than them. The Texans had two Stroud picks. We had a pick 6. Jackson fumbled the punt, and then Pollard on the exchange fumble. So we had 3 turnovers to their 2. They won the turnover battle.
Every single player needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror right now, take a look at themselves, and ask themselves, do they want to win? Honestly, do you want to win? The team out there right now does not look like they want to win. Doesn't look like they give a shit. Honestly. Like I said, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, they played well. Jimmy Ward had a pick 6.
Yeah.
Nico Collins made some things happen whenever he had the ball.
I can't believe he had 92 yards.
Made a couple good throws. But overall, this Texans team, this Texans game today showed me one thing and one thing only. They're not nearly as good as we thought they were going to be this year. No, sir. Nuh-uh. No way. This team is not as good as we thought they were going to be. And maybe we have to temper our expectations. Maybe that's on me. Maybe it's my bad for thinking that they could be a...
God, I have said that so many weeks. It's my fault. It's on me. It's on me. My bad. I've said that so many times. I maybe it's the Titans fan in me, but I said all summer that the Texans were built up so much over the offseason that it was just a recipe for a letdown. Because it was just everybody was talking about the moves they made and Stroud and DeMeco Ryans. It was like, it just feels like regression. It feels like a letdown's coming.
Contender in the AFC. That's on me, guys. That's on me. I shouldn't have thought highly of this team to begin with.
Sounds like
because
me.
They played spineless today. They played like a team that was uninspired and that wasn't ready. And we'll talk about Bobby Sloak. We'll talk about this offense and changes that need to be made. But DeMeco Ryans, I'm looking straight at you in the eyes. Do you really think this Texans team was ready to play today under your watch?
The music.
Do you think they were ready? No shot. No shot. This team played lackadaisical. After that first return by Dameon Pearson, the touchdown by Kate Stover, you thought the game was over. I forgot an NFL game lasted 2 minutes. Because after that, the Texans sideline, everybody on the Texans field, they were acting like, oh, we won the game. Good job. Good job. Let's pack it up. Everybody head out. Great game. Can't wait for Beyonce on Christmas.
Oh, is
you acting
Beyonce
like the game was
performing?
freaking over.
Well, that'll be good.
We'll get into more stats, more stuff coming up in just a moment. Got to tell you about
It's a shame Beyonce's going to be there because it looks like the Texans aren't even going to be able to put a ring on it this year.
the sponsor of today's show. That is Prize Picks.
Let's get through the...
Is CJ... Now, I want to clarify this, though. Is CJ Stroud bad? No. Is CJ Stroud the guy? Yes, of course he is. He's our guy. I have full faith in CJ Stroud with this team. The guys around him, though, this squad, this offensive line, they look like they want to be models instead of offensive linemen. They're more worried about their pregame fits and how they look walking up to NRG Stadium. Look at me. I'm in a ripped T-shirt. How cool do I look? No one gives a shit. This offensive line couldn't block a 5-year-old. And we expect this Texans team to do something in the playoffs.
The only thing I'll say is you got to be careful because I've fallen into that trap before. CJ Stroud was not good. And yes, the offensive line needs to help him more. The guys around him, offensive coordinator Slowick, whatever. But, like, the 2 interceptions were bad. Like, he's not playing as well as he did last year. Not saying he's not going to be their guy. Not saying they should cast him aside. I mean, that'd be ridiculous. But you have to acknowledge he's not playing very well. And, some of that's just on him.
2.4 yards per carry with Joe Mixon. Every run that he had, no holes. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. No push. Nothing along this Texans offensive line. And I called it before the game, things that worried me. This Texans interior up against Jeffrey Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat. Well, T'Vondre Sweat got his first sack in the NFL up against your Houston Texans. Jeffrey Simmons caused mayhem. And you lost the game with C.J. Stroud running for his life out of the back of the end zone for a safety. How embarrassing. How embarrassing for Texans fans. For the Texans fans that were there, which, like I said at the top of the show, not sold out at NRG, a home game up against a division rival. I get it, they're 2-8. They're not a good football team. You're telling me you can't sell tickets to this Texans team? I wonder why. People don't believe in this team. People in the back of their minds, they have the hype. They know, oh, wow, yeah, this Texans team, they've got something going. Woohoo, you beat the Cowboys. I mean.
Cowboys beat the Commanders. I mean,
and
come on.
The defense, I don't know what happened today. I don't know who was out there for the Texans, but it wasn't this Texans defense. This is not the defense I remember. The guys up the middle, Tim Settle, Mario Edwards Jr., linebackers, Henry To'oTo'o, Azeez Al-Shire. I don't know who played out there. This must have been impossible.
Our old buddy Azeez Al-Shire.
4 yards a carry, 33 carries on 132 yards. Like I said, you got 3 turnovers. The offense could not do anything. You let Calvin Ridley beat you. You let 2 easy bomb touchdowns from Will Levis to Chiga Kwankwo and Nick Westbrook-Akini. I mean, you absolutely – it was like watching high school football. We got high school football playoffs right now in the state of Texas. There's a couple teams that actually played a lot better than the Houston Texans did today. Some high school football teams with more discipline, with more will, with more grit than your Texans team does right now because, like I said, there's no shot for this team if this is how we're going to play. There's no shot. They might as well pack it up. They might as well say, hey, wherever the Texans play in the first round of the playoffs, let them take a week off. I have no faith in this team right now and how they're playing.
Well,
hopefully they can turn it around. Hopefully D'Amico Ryans talks to these guys. But like I said, how many team meetings do we have to have, D'Amico? How many players-only meetings do we have to have
I always roll my eyes at that whenever you're losing and they have the players only meeting. They asked the coaches to leave so that they could. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
For us to get it, for us to block, for us to do the simple things right, not commit dumb penalties.
Oh, I know that.
I mean, you have a punt. You miss a field goal, an easy one, which Kaimi, that's another discussion for another day of Kaimi Fairbairn. Yes, he's an amazing kicker, but he's had some bad misses this year, man. And you get a stop against the Titans, 3 and out. You force a punt. You even have a timeout left, man. You force a punt, and what happens? Penalty.
That killed them, too.
And instead of at the 25-yard line, you start at your own, 6-7-yard line. Dumb penalties. This team didn't deserve to win. Neither did they play like they wanted to win. They didn't.
It did kind of look like they thought this was going to be an easy day at the job, you know. But, I mean, they've also lost to the Jets a few weeks ago, so that's another bad team they lost to.
And you had your chances. You were up, and you shit away this game. I'm just so upset with how this team is playing right now. I want to have the faith. I want to say that this Texans team is going to give me a jolt and say, hey, we're who you thought we were. We are contenders. This isn't like us. This
it's almost
is just
December, dude. If they ain't showed it by
the
now.
Games we win. This Texans offensive line doesn't show me anything. I honestly think we need 4 new starters this offseason.
Literally me last year. We're going to need 4 new starters. And I think, got 4 new starters.
Honestly. And that's me being
3.
nice on Laramie Tunsil, who leads the league in penalties with 14. Most in the NFL. That's your Pro Bowl left tackle. And your other guys can't block along the front. So maybe you need an entirely new offensive line. Because these guys are more worried about being divas, being fashion icons, walking into the stadium.
From? What's
than actually working on their blocking technique. Than actually helping out their quarterback and giving him some time in the pocket. And Bobby Slowick, I've defended you this whole year, man. And honestly, the only reason that I'm holding out hope and saying that the Texans shouldn't fire you on the spot right now, because I don't know who takes over the play calling duties, and I don't know if I have faith in them, in Gerard Johnson or maybe Bill Lazor. I don't know, man. The turnaround from Slowick from year to year, maybe it's just we glorified this Texans team, and maybe we had too much faith. Maybe we put too much behind this team, and that's on me.
Wasn't just y'all.
That's on me for having faith in this team and really wanting this team to go above and beyond expectations. But, D'Amico, man, I expected more out of you. I expected more out of this team. I expected more out of this unit. And I don't know what we got to do to get some offensive line help, to make some changes, to get something.
Nothing you can do at this point.
I don't know, man.
It's almost December, bro.
Maybe once Blake Fisher is healthy, maybe you insert him at right tackle and you move some things around, because the unit we have right now isn't cutting it. It's not going to cut it. Unless the Texans make some changes going into this week up against Jacksonville and into the bye week,
if you lose
it's going to be another one-and-done
Jacksonville,
season for the Texans,
that's
like we've seen year after year. Maybe you win the first game, but you get blown out in the divisional round. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to peddle that narrative. I don't want to say that that's the case. But, man, you're making it really hard for me to think otherwise.
Man, I get it, dude. I've been there. Now, I will say, you could probably give a little more responsibility to C.J. Stroud. You know, I know you do. I mean, I get it. You don't want to go too hard on the franchise QB, but he wasn't good either. So, I don't know. It's nice to see another team's guy acting like this, because it's been me most every week pitching a fit about these Titans. Not this week, because they won. Tighten up.